It's really a big honor to do this to you. Another thing is that I want to tell you is I don't want to be only sending information, so if somebody has a question or a command or whatever, please let me know and I will also try it. So I will try to keep my presentation short, so because I know you have a very busy schedule, we also have some time for questions. But thank you again. I will start with the presentation. Very good. Yes. So, as you know, from Ebusco, it's always been our mission and vision to help make the energy transition possible. And we started as first one in Europe in 2010 and grounded in 2012, making the first electric bus, showing ourselves at the IAA in Hanover. And from that time, we also needed to develop our own charger, because at that time there were no chargers available for electric buses, because there was no electric buses. At this moment, we even widened this up. We made it wider. What did we change? Is we saw that the congestion in the net was also getting bigger. So outside looking at the efficiency of our electric bus, as you can see here, the 12 and 18 meter, and the charging systems delivered, we also have a wider focus on energy storage. Because what we see is that the transition is going pretty fast and sometimes the electricity net cannot keep up. And to be able to still do the transition, we developed also energy storage systems that you see here on the right, where we can, if only the electricity is available for maybe 10 buses, we can buffer to still do 100 buses of charging. And this we see is getting a more and more important factor to get all the electric buses on the road. To also continue on that, we have made a small energy storage that you can even drive. This little thing, even it's not so big, it will arrive from tomorrow on the stand, has a 184 kilowatt hour battery pack inside that is bidirectional. So it can take energy from the grid, or can take energy directly from the solar panels or from a windmill, but also can give energy back when the grid is in need. A part of that, it can also charge through the normal CCS2 protocol cars or buses. And again, we see that in this electric bus transition, the grid is getting a more and more bigger problem. And with this flex that we have developed, together with our battery supplier, we can serve both, and we can see that the transition still is possible. The other thing, as you know, we focused on is lightweight structures. We have a few focus points within Ebusco. One is, of course, battery technology. We want to have a safe battery. We want to have a battery with a long cycle life, with a high energy density. The other part is that where we can win a lot in the TCO is weight. As you know, if we start running, and we do that every day, but tomorrow we will do it with a backpack of 35 kilos, it will be much more heavy for us. The same is with the bus. We saw already 6-7 years ago on our data that weight would be one of the most important factors on the energy consumption. So we started in 2016 to develop our lightweight bus, not by steel or aluminium, but by composites. And we saw that we could not win 400 kilos going from steel to aluminium, but we saw that we could win 4,000 kilos on a 12-meter bus going from steel and aluminium towards composites. And here you see, let's say, a break-off of the complete monocoque, where we have achieved this. We also, for the first time in our history, we show one complete carbon fiber sidewall. It's positioned for me on the left, for you on the right, on the end of the stand, where you can get a feeling to do it. Only one sidewall is 220 kilos, meaning a lot of weight saving. The same with the roof. And this is extremely important for the energy consumption, because then I come to the last point. On the end of the day, we want to lower down our footprint. We want to use as low amount as possible of batteries, but we still want to have the range. So weight is an extremely important factor in this. And to make the footprint smaller, we see that in the operation we can gain the most by lowering down our energy consumption. But it also has to do with the raw materials that we need to build the bus, or on the end of life, how we and what we need to recycle. So where we first focused in the beginning years of our existence, 2012, 13, 14, on the TCO, diesel versus electric, to show the market that electric would be the future. A lot of our competitors are focusing on TCO, electric versus electric. We are really focusing on footprint. So again, how can we establish a small as possible footprint, but still be able to drive our bus lines with the lowest amount of effect and impact on the total system? We see now, because we have already some fleets operational in Europe, that our average energy consumption on a 12-meter bus, in line, including heating, cooling, whatever necessary, is 0.65 kilowatt hours per kilometer. We also have an example from our Embosco Live, so in a later stage we all invite you to have a look at the system. You can live follow our buses and you can see literally what the energy consumption is from all the different buses. But we are extremely proud to show this to you, and this is no data from a model, this is real life data from our fleet every day of our 12-meter 3.0. As I told you before, we focus very heavily on footprint, and one of the things is our LCA, our life cycle assessment. I walk a little bit closer to the screen. Here on the left side you see our 3.0 12 meter, and on the right side you see our 3.0 18 meter. I hope you can see it. You see this part, what is by far the biggest, and here, this is the use phase, as we call it. This is what the bus uses in the footprint, yes, to run for the amount of time till the end of life. All the other parts are mainly from assembly. This is a very small part, and you see from the end of life what it does and the materials, the raw materials we need. That's why we focus very heavily on recyclability and reusability. So we get a lot of questions about these composites, is it recyclable? And we say we can prove it's 100% recyclable. All the carbon fibers, even including the resins, we can recycle 100%. This is what we focus on, and this is very important. In the meantime, end of last year, we also showed our 3.0 18 meters. Because we saw where we win 4,000 kilos on a 12 meter, we win 6,000 kilos of empty weight on our 18 meter. So we see that, let's say, the bigger the bus, the more effect our carbon technology has and our lightweight structures has. We have shown you, or we want to show you, let's say, the build-up. Because it's not only the lightweight structures, we have designed all the battery packs in the floor. On the buses you see also here, all the battery packs are in the floor. They are integrated in the chassis. Where we, in the beginning, always had cell, module, pack structure, we are looking to really go from cell, pack to structure. And trying to get all the limiting factors on weight out, but also in components, because everything that is more in battery packs can break. So this is where we focused on. Another part is we gained a lot more, let's say, open space for our passengers. As you can see, with the battery packs in the floor, yes, our center of gravity is much lower, meaning the drivability is a lot better. We don't carry 2,000 or 3,000 kilos of batteries on the roof anymore. Everything is integrated in the floor. Also, the height, we can stay under the 3.2 meter. This can also be important for certain cities. The other part where we really focused on is, let's say, rolling resistance. And as I said, in passenger capacity and also in the floor space. So I think on the 12 and 18 meter, we are maybe the only one in the world that can operate still on a 12 meter above 90 passengers, but all with normal single tires. So we have, as you can see here with an 18 meter, we have a front axle suspension from ZF, the RL82EC, yes, with 275 tires. What we use in the rear, we also use the same suspension with single tires, meaning lower rolling resistance, but also for the complete TCO, I have less tires. I have less tire wear, but I'm still able to carry more than 130 passengers. And this, of course, is all because of mainly the weight saving. But also between the motors, I have more space. So normally at the front axle, as you all are specialists, know that I can have up to 900 millimeter space. We can also achieve this on the second and the third axle to have more throughput from passengers or more standing passengers. Here, this is another big item that is really distinguishing the 3.0 compared to other buses, is both the sidewalls, but also the floor and the roof have a sandwich construction. Why do we have this? Of course for strength and stiffness, but also for insulation. We really see that when we get into cold temperatures, I mean below zero, we need more energy to heat up the bus than physically drive the bus. So in the 3.0, outside the heat pump system or the CO2 system we use, we put a lot of effort in the isolation to keep the heat in or outside the bus, whatever is necessary, but anyhow to keep, let's say, the energy consumption extremely low. On our other side, we noticed that out of a comfort way, it also helps a lot. So as I said, I try to keep it as short as possible. I hope to see you soon, and I would be interested if somebody has a question that I maybe can ask. I see a gentleman here. So, yeah.
Okay, Oren from Israel. The slide showing the suspension and tire. You see that the second axle is a driving axle. What does it mean regarding to the driver license rank in Europe? It should be D plus E, or is it just a D rank?
No, it's the same driver license as every bus driver needs to have. So it's not a special or another driver license, it's just a normal driver license that it has. So the axle, even that it's a single tire, has no effect on the driver license.
No, it's not a single tire, it's just that the driving axle is the second axle. It's the driving axle of the front car and not the rear car. So it's a puller and not a pusher.
Correct. Yes, it's a puller.
Yes, Tom from Bus Magazine Norway. We know that you have sold a lot of buses to Norway, Sweden and other countries in the Nordic area. I'm just wondering how long time do it takes to produce 180 meter, because it's not steel or aluminium. The second one, how much part is made in the Netherlands, outside Netherlands and outside Europe?
Yes, good question. I will start with the last question. Let's say mainly all parts, let's say 95% outside the battery pack is made in Europe. So the complete carbon fiber structure, everything, all the parts you see on this bus is made in Europe. So I hope that answers your question. Of course, we all know that LFP batteries in Europe, professional factories, we don't really have in big scale. So we have a cooperation and let's say a close cooperation with also development with two big battery suppliers. One is Guoshen. It's the biggest shareholder of Guoshen is Volkswagen, and the other one is CATL. And we really focus with the battery supplier on the cell, but also on the energy density, on the cycle life, on the safety, of course. And that's how we managed also to make the new packs in the floor. But again, the battery pack is the only item at the moment that comes from China. The other part is on production. Of course, we had a supply chain disruption, but the normal, let's say, throughput time for a steel bus is the same as for a fully composite bus. So there is not extra months or weeks or hours that we need to spend. In fact, in this model we spend a lot of time in design to manufacture and design to assemble. As you can see, the side walls and also the exterior walls, so the interior, it will only be painted once. So if you look at the side wall on carbon fiber that we hang there, we only need to paint it once. So we don't need to, as with a former steel bus, we need to weld the steel frame, we need to put the isolation inside, we need to put all the interior, exterior panels on. That's all immediately done. We paint it one time, we bond all the studs on the floor, so we don't drill it anymore, we don't drill in the side walls, and we put all the components, seats, whatever necessary on the side walls. And this, of course, saves us a lot of time in assembly.
Ashraf Kara from Egypt. Actually, my question is not technical. It will be focusing on sales and marketing. Yeah, I know that Ebusco very, very intelligent and has good vision in EV vehicles. And of course, it's one of the leaders in Europe. But I had a feedback from the company that you are not interested in MENA region. Why?
Okay.
This is very strange.
Yes. No, it's not that we are not interested, because we have been in close contact with some big PTAs in this region. Only what we see now is that we have an order book of 1,800 buses, and we really want to focus first to get Europe rolled out in a good way. So we have all the after-sales systems here, we have all the people here, so this is where our focus is. This doesn't mean that in a later stage we will not go to other regions. Thank you.
Thank you. David Cole, Bus and Coach for Great Britain. You were putting together a right-hand drive version of your 2.2 model for Australia. I wanted to ask how that was progressing, and is there an intention to carry that through to the 3.0 model?
Yes, we will for sure do that. You're completely right, in the 2.2 we have our right-hand drive model, and not only right-hand drive for the Australian market, but also 5 centimeters less wide. So we put a lot of development in there, and in a later stage we will also have this in the 3.0.
Hi, I'm Arnie from Norway. Just a question about when you build your buses from composite, how do you take care of the safety for drivers and passengers by collisions and so on?
Yes, good question. We of course did quite severe testing on this, even full-scale crash testing we did, and also from frontal impact and side impact. And we see even that the stiffness is higher than with a normal steel bus, because we have less memory in the material. So we have tested in a full-scale frontal, and we have tested in a side crash with 35-kilometer full frontal from the side. And please also remember that we had the first models with also a composite floor. but at the moment we have a high-strength stainless steel chassis, so that's also always in place. But we have, of course, done this already in the last years.
Gianluca Ventura, Italy. My question is, where is the assembly line? In which country?
Okay, in the Netherlands, in Deurne. It's Deurne, you probably don't know, but it's in Eindhoven. So we have 3 production lines. Later we can give you more information about the production line. We are also setting up since the 1st of September this year. We will start producing the monocoque, so all the carbon fiber and all the composites in France, in Rouen. This is a little bit in the northwest of France. I think we are almost through with the questions. So again, I want to thank you very much for being here. I hope that I can speak to you in the next days. Personally, if you have any questions, please let me know or some of my colleagues, and we will try all to answer them, and of course enjoy looking at the buses and all the other features we have here at the stand. Thank you very much for being here, and hope to talk and see you soon. Thank you.